Hello guys, welcome back to Vaishya's YouTube channel, and this is Pooja Sharma. So I'm back with our biosphere reserves. So today we will be reading about the next two biosphere reserves. So before we begin with the video, as you all know, this is the WhatsApp detail of Vaishya's. You can contact on this number for your enrollment details or for any UPSC related queries. You can even email us and visit our YouTube channel. There are a lot of mini series going on which will help you for your prelims, and it will be like a revision for you. So let's start. So the first biosphere reserve will be the Panna Biosphere Reserve, which is located in the Madhya Pradesh state. So Panna National Park is a national park which is located in the Panna and Chhatarpur districts of Madhya Pradesh in India. So you can see the location is over here in the almost in the northern and slightly northeastern part of Madhya Pradesh. So it has an area of 542.67 kilometer square, and it was declared in 1994 as the 22nd Tiger Reserve of India and 5th in Madhya Pradesh. So Panna was also given the Award of Excellence in 2007 as the best maintained national park of India by the Ministry of Tourism of India. But it is notable that by the year 2009, what happened? The entire tiger population had been eliminated due to poaching. Poaching is nothing but hunting with the collusion or the conspiracy of the forest department officials. So the Panna National Park and the surrounding territorial forest area of North and South Panna Forest Division, it is the only large chunk of wildlife habitat which is remaining in the North Madhya Pradesh in the otherwise the deciduous fragmented forest landscapes of the region. So this is the type of vegetation which is found over here, and the national park is situated at a point where the continuity of the tropical and the subtropical dry broadleaf forest belt occurs, which starts from the Cape Comorin in South India, and it is broken, and beyond this the upper Ganga plains we see the presence of moist deciduous forest of the great Indo-Ganga plain. Then this area is the northernmost tip of the natural teak forest and the easternmost tip of the natural Khardai forest, which is also known as the Anogenesis pendula. So the forest of Panna National Park, along with the Ken Gherial Wildlife Sanctuary and the adjoining territorial divisions, they form a significant part of the catchment area of the 406 kilometer Ken River, which runs northeast for about 72 kilometers in the park. So among the animals which are found over here, we can see a tiger, leopard, cheetal, chinkara. Then we have the nilgai, sambar, and the sloth bear. And apart from this, the park is also home to more than 200 species of birds, including the bar-headed goose, which is over here. Then we have the honey buzzard. Then we have king vulture, and then blossom-headed parakeet, also changeable hawk eagle, and the Indian vulture. So this Panna National Park, it was declared as one of the tiger reserves of India in 1994-95, as I said earlier, and it was placed under the protection of Project Tiger. So the decline of the tiger population in Panna, it has been reported several times, and two female tigers were relocated or transferred into the Panna National Park from the Bandhavgarh National Park and the Kanha National Park in March 2009. So what happened was the last male tiger, it had already disappeared, and also was uh, uh, a committee was formed to look into the disappearance of the tiger. What had happened? In June 2019, it was officially announced that the reserve, it had over 40 tigers 6 years earlier. But now, after in 2009, there were no tigers left and only two tigresses, which were bought in a little earlier in February 2012. They were left, and 3 years later, the entire tiger population of the reserve was considered eliminated. So what happens is, not only rhinos and other animals, even tigers, the poaching, the hunting that take place. It is mainly for the uh, cross border illegal trade, because sometimes the fur of the tiger it's used as mats, and then many organs and body parts of tiger, they are used for different purposes across borders. So that is why they used to kill tigers and then use use whatever sources they retrieve from the tiger. So the Madhya Pradesh government did not determine the responsibility of this debacle of failure, and it did not pass the inquiry also to the Central Bureau of Investigation, in spite of the requests that kept coming from the Ministry of Environment and Forests and the Prime Minister's office. So the Ministry of Environment and Forests, they approved a proposal to translocate the two tigers and the two tigresses to the reserve, and one female each from Bandhavgarh National Park, which were coded as T1, and the National Park female was coded as T2. So they will translocated to Panna Tiger Reserve. So a male tiger which was coded as T3. So these are the names which they assigned to the tigers. They were bought from the Pench Tiger Reserve. But what happened is, this male tiger named as T3, it strayed out of the park shortly in November 2009 because it was feeling homesick. So the tiger started walking towards its home in Pench National Park, indicating the homing instinct. Then it moved steadily to the human dominated landscapes without interfering or interacting with any humans or causing any conflicts. And the forest department staff, they tracked it continuously for over a month, and then they finally brought it back to the Panna Tiger Reserve. It then settled over there and it established its territory also and started mating. So the tigress T1, it translocated from the Bandhavgarh National Park, and it gave birth to 4 cubs in April 2010, of which 2 survive till date. 2 cubs are still surviving, and the second tigress, who was named T2, was translocated from the Kanha National Park, which gave birth to 4 cubs several months later, and all of them still survive up to this date. Then the third tigress, which was coded as T4, it moved along the female tiger, and an orphaned cub was reintroduced to the park in March 2011. So this T4, tigress T4, she learned all hunting skills with the help of the male that was present in that area and mated with the male. So then what happened later on, she was found dead on 19 September 2014 because of an infection that was caused because of the radio collar which they make them wear on their neck. So the sibling or the sister, who was coded as 35, then this new tiger coded 35 was released in Panna in November 2011. So thus these 4 tigers and around 4 cubs of up to 2 years, they are settled in Panna Tiger Reserve at present, and regularly their progress has been monitored by the forest department. Then this effect of Ken Betwa River linking project. So the government of India, along with the government of Madhya Pradesh and the government of Uttar Pradesh, they have planned to link the Ken River with Betwa River. So this involves a construction of a 283-meter long Dhaudhan Dam. So this project, it aims to transfer all the excess water from Ken Basin to Betwa Basin, so it can provide water access to the drought-prone region of Bundelkhand. But this construction, it will cause an inundation or flooding of 400 hectares of land of the 4,300 hectare land of the Panna Tiger Reserve. So many environmentalists, they are very afraid that this will adversely affect the population of the tigers in the region. Then we have the Sheshachalam Hills. So the Sheshachalam Hills, they are the hilly ranges which are part of the Eastern Ghats in southern Andhra Pradesh state in southeastern India. So you can see their location over here. So the ranges, they were formed during the pre-Cambrian era, which is about 3.8 million years ago. And minerals contained in these hills, they include the sandstone and the shale, which is interbedded with the limestone. So the ranges, they are bounded by the Rayalaseema uplands to the west, and on the northwest side we see the Nandian Valley to the north. Then Tirupati, a major Hindu pilgrimage town, is located in the hills, and the hill contains the 7 peaks which are called as the Anjanadri, Garudadri. Then we have the Narayanadri. Then we have Niladri, Sheshadri, Venkatadri, and also we have the Vrishabhadri. So the Vrishabhadri, which is the highest, it is about 600 meters, that is 2000 feet above the sea level. Also the 7 peaks, they are said to represent the 7 hoods of Lord Adishesha, the king of the serpents in the Hindu mythology. Then the Sri Venkateshwara National Park is also located in these regions, and also we see the famous natural ark which is over here. This is the natural ark which is present in the Tirumala hills, is also part of the Sheshachalam hills. So this dates back to the period in between middle and upper Proterozoic era or eon. So this is a protected reserve forest, and in 2010 it was designated as a biosphere reserve. So the flora and fauna over here, we can see sambar deers, then we have spotted, so this is the sambar deer, we have spotted deer, mouse deer, then barking deer, then we have the 4-horn antelope, then we have the wild boar. So they are the main fauna which we can see over here. And then the nocturnal slender lories over here. Nocturnal means animals which are very active at the night times, at the dark, during the dark times. So this is a slender lories which is common over here, but it is not seen that much. And then we have the Indian giant squirrel and also the tree shrew which is found over here. Then one more interesting fact is that it has large reserves of red sandalwood which is used in medicines, soaps and spiritual rituals. So I think this is the last slide. We are done with these 2 biosphere reserves also. So I'll be back with the next biosphere reserves. Till then, make sure that you're liking our videos and then sharing them with everyone, whoever is preparing for UPSC and government exams. And also make sure that you comment in our comment section below, and also subscribe to our channel so that in the upcoming days all the videos which we upload, you will have access to them. And also the mini series which are going on now parallelly, they are very important for your prelims perspective. So make sure that you watch them. They are short videos only, so it won't take too much of your time. So these are the details of Vaishya